I'm at home, sitting on my sofa, feet dangling off the sidearm. Soothing sounds of walkers growling and guns shooting playing from my television. The Walking Dead fills the background. I breathe in and out as I contemplate my decision to finish this joint in my hand or not. Before I can decide, I feel the energy shift in the room. I feel the shift before I can even feel the vibrations of my phone. My mom's name and face appears on my screen, and my heart rate beats. My breath catches in my throat. I slide up the bouncing green phone icon and a deep voice immediately calls out my name. Slim? A name only known to those close enough to know me in those early days. I take another breath in, another breath out. I listen as my brother recounts his past few hours of his car ride, but not entirely before my mom's voice interrupts with some much-needed details to the story. This is how it always plays out. My mom and my brother going back and forth. He calls to explain. She jumps in to correct. He yells over her over him, back and forth. Even through the phone, it still grips me. But I used to be there physically till I decided to leave. There was something about my mind that day. Could have been the early departure that had me up before the morning dew had settled. It could have been the triple check of all the belongings I called my life. Maybe it was the long, drawn-out goodbye my mom and my brother demanded. A hug, followed by a kiss on the cheek, and then another hug, followed by a quadruple check of my bags and ticket. For all the eyes on the outside looking in, this was a bittersweet moment. A family sending their oldest off to an unknown land. To those unsuspecting, this was a sweet goodbye. The ache in my shoulders proves my body has not forgotten the 48-hour ordeal it even took to make it to the train station. The fuzziness and dullness in my head was longing to forget the loud words shouted between the three family members. Even the cramping in my stomach protested the last incoming hug. By all accounts, I am ready to go, and in perfect timing, as my train gate information is announced through the intercom. Gate number 3 to New York, now boarding. But I felt guilt creeping in, and a need to apologize as I lament the thought of having to leave my mom and my brother to share the next 4 years alone. I look down at my ticket. I breathe in a sudden rush to my lungs and breathe out as I contemplate what my decision means for them. And I know I have to leave. Rolling my suitcase down the gravel path to the tracks, my book bag securely on my shoulders, one would think the weight would have slowed me down. But solid step by solid step, my feet do not falter. The rolling wheels hum steadily on the ground with each step, adding to my own personal soundtrack. The train looks longer than any moving train I've seen on the rail tracks as a kid. The big cargo shipping units replaced by shining windows and sliding doors. The Polar Express comes to my mind, and I stifle a smile. I approach the train attendant at the open door, nodding yes to his question of New York. I feel lighter by the moment as I pull my luggage onto the train car. Moving down the aisle, I look for an empty space to settle, taking in the silent hum around me. I take my seat, situate my bags above me and below me, and settle my thoughts on the silent hum of the train. As the light chatter and laughter from the other patrons chirp around me, I realize the silent hum is not caused by the train engine, but coming from inside of me. I feel it as I breathe out the stresses from hours before, not around me, but within my body. My shoulders relax onto the seat behind me. The mental fog clears. Even the cramping in my stomach subsides into small patterns, barely noticeable with every breath. My body lurches forward, the railroads of New Orleans slowly rolling past me. There's something about this mood, I think. Another smile playing on my lips. I'm finally leaving. I'm finally gone. Did you make it there yet? Call me when you get there. The letters on the screen scream at me to reply, so I do. I'm okay at Penn Station, waiting for my train. I click the sides of my phone for my power button because I can turn this conversation off, even if temporarily. I slide my phone back into my pocket. Stepping into Penn Station, hundreds of bodies passing by. I can't remember the last time I felt so free. My luggage drags behind me with each step. It feels like slow motion. I look around, in part for my next train gate, in part to take in my new surroundings. The hundreds of people do not bother me. The shady man walking dangerously close to me does not frighten me. The short and curt responses from the Penn Station officials do not make me want to turn and run. The views of the Hudson River are nice. The river racing itself, the green of the trees wrestling against each other. The way the roads seem to blend in with foliage on either side. I settle as I look outside the windows of my new room. It's quiet. This quiet will follow me a lot in my new home, and I gladly welcome it each time. I only notice this calming silence go stale after one particular phone call. I answer quickly while the smile is still dancing on my face from some joke lingering at the dinner table. The smile even stays as I hear the old familiar nickname again. Slim, can you please talk to your brother? My smile fades. Can you please talk to your brother? The weighted question over the phone is at odds with the jovial laughter at the table. My shoulders tense. Can you please talk to your brother? What happened? I hear myself ask. The account of arguments and threats fill my ears, a momentary teleportation trick. Suddenly, I'm 2,200 miles back south. Listen, Pint, all I asked was her to bring me to the store, and no, that's not what you asked. Slim, he yelled at me to bring him to the store or he was going to tear the whole place apart. And when the mental fog fills my head as I carefully talk my mother and brother off a precarious emotional ledge. Because you said you were going to bring me earlier. The two voices continue to overlap, merging the two arguments into a battle of wills. I look down at my phone in disbelief. The voice is echoing off the walls, begging to invade the space I call home. Now let me tell you something, Slim. The name feels like a hard knock at my door. Man, Pint, listen, I'm about to hurt somebody. No, you're not. Man, shut up. Don't talk to me like that. I look around the room for a way out. Anywhere. I look down at my phone again. A voice tells me, they're not here. They are 2,200 miles away, and you're here at home, the voice tells me. The voice is so clear that it dares to break through the barrier of familiar voices. Notes from therapy rush to the front of my thoughts, and the word, boundaries. But those words, boundaries, followed by respect, fall on deaf ears. The call never seems to end, despite hanging up the phone several times. It's been 4 days this time that my brother has been calling nonstop. And though I love him, I just need a break. I answer the phone, and once again, I am bombarded with the plans and the problems of his own making, or maybe just my own. I want to move to Las Vegas, maybe Maryland. I hear a lot of people up there, so maybe that's what I need, a different environment, you know? What do you think about that? Pint, I listen to my brother, my baby brother, my 20-year-old baby brother. I listen and I don't know what to say. What can I say that I haven't said, screamed, cried, texted already? Well, good luck. There's more. Of course, there's more. I want to say more. Like, how in the hell are you going to live on your own in a whole new state when you don't even like staying home by yourself? Do you know what the unhoused situation is like in Las Vegas? You need to focus on your mental health. Yes, there's so much more. But like I told him, and just like he told me, he has to have the chance to live his own life. And if he makes mistakes, then they'll be his mistakes. Well, do you think it's a good idea? You don't want to know what I think. I'm going to be okay. I know. I love you, Pint. I love you too. We hang up. Please, just be safe. Over my time at college, the phone calls come on a regular basis. The voices from home blending into the voices of my classroom. Their arguments lingering with me on the dance floor at Blythewood or Manor. Their problems became my own. Their arguments, mine too. That tension in my head and shoulders slowly creeps on to the top of the stresses of a young black woman in her first year of a PWI, or predominantly white institution. Two worlds colliding into one. But tonight, 2,200 miles away, and with brand new boundaries, I let my fingers find their way to the red phone icon. It's brighter than I remember for some reason. I don't even feel the tap of the screen, replaced by the deafening silence that hugs me. A weighted blanket, if I ever did have one. The blood returns to my legs, my ankles, my feet, my toes. The low growls of the walking dead fills my ears. I scan the walls now. Again, just walls of my home. My head falls back on my sofa pillow, just as my joint from earlier comes back into view. I look over to my phone, slide the screen down to my settings. Do not disturb, on. I grab the lighter, threatening to fall off the edge of the sofa, and spark the last few puffs. I breathe in, and I breathe out.